What's up, guys? Happy Friday. February 24, 2023. I hope you guys are doing all right today. End of the week. How'd you do last night? Last night, we got bombarded late in the stream with Blazers information, and we knew the Blazers, one way or the other, would shape the slate. Incredible ownership, incredible value opportunity, and you needed to get there. And some of the ones that I thought would be the guys, like Shaden Sharp, were not the guys. Matter of fact, he didn't even start. And then some of the ones that I thought were a little bit more flimsy, Nas Little, Keon Johnson, were guys that you needed. So if you guys stocked up on Nas Little, Cam Reddish, those were the main two that you needed to have in order to have a shot at the top of the standings last night. And then you need to fill in the blanks with some of the slate's best fantasy producers. Joel Embiid led the entire DraftKings slate with fantasy points, 74.25 fantasy points, 39 minutes of action, 27 points, 19 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 blocks, a steal. Jokic, number 2, 24, 18, and 13, a triple-double for him in 36 minutes. So both of them were similar in price. I guess $700 jump for Jokic. If you got there, mixed in with the Little and Reddish, man, if you had both those guys, center util, mixed in with some of the value, you probably did all right. And that was, that was a great example of usage and superstars trumping the on-paper matchup. Memphis Grizzlies front court defense, or just overall defense, are really, really stout. And then Jokic against the Cavs. Cavs are really good defense. And the, by the way, I mean, the Sixers only scored 110 and Denver only scored 115. So another pushback against traditional, research that would push you away from them. So both those guys crushed it. SGA, number 3 on the slate in fantasy points, 64.5 fantasy points for him. He had 39 real points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Sabonis, 63.5 in 32 minutes. He triple-doubled, 18, 18, 10. Any other surprises here? Miles Turner. So we actually talked about the Miles Turner matchup yesterday with the Celtics being such a good, front court defense with Robert Williams. And I talked about how Miles Turner in spots like that can just start pulling up for 3. And obviously he was crazy efficient, but he did pull up from 3. He hit 8 threes on his way to 40 real points, 10 rebounds, for 60 fantasy points. So big game out of him. And then perusing through the top of the board, a lot of the regular suspects. By the way, Boston and Indiana, extra innings, 142 to 138. Massive totals there. But that was the slate. That was your Thursday night. Welcome back, NBA DFS slate, player prop slate. Tonight, onward and upward for a decent-sized slate. Couple interesting matchups, couple spots where studs are going to be out, potentially out, couple back-to-backs where you might speculate on some guys not being full strength. We're going to go through game by game here, try to find the biggest leans and likes for a player pool or a prop pool. Shout out to the live chat. What up, Brooklyn? What up, Kevin? What up, R. Jones? Helms, absolute power. Kevin, those numbers are stupid when you say them out loud, aren't they? What up, Rob? Turner went bananas. And then at the end of the day, you almost didn't need him. I mean, obviously, I don't remember what the first place lineup was, but there was enough value to make Embiid and Jokic work, and those raw points just might have mattered that much more. Raise your hand if you're sweating the MLB spring training no-run first innings. Woo! Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I can't wait for baseball, though. Love me some baseball. World Baseball Classic. Get you a little taste of some exciting, meaningful baseball. And spring training, as nice and fun as it is to just be able to flip over and watch 3 innings of stars, I don't get that excited for spring training. I grit and bear injuries, but World Baseball Classic, I love it. I love it. Turner only goes off every 5 games, maybe. What's up, Josh of Los Angeles? Turner's so good. He has those big games sometimes. Oh, you know what else we talked about was the goalie shots on goal theory, right? We talked about how in NHL DFS, if you're targeting a goalie, because you get points for saves, you kind of want him to face a team that's going to take some shots. You just hope he doesn't make them. And that was kind of like the Jaren Jackson Jr. Comp, where here's a goalie that's going to go against a guy like Embiid that's going to take some shots. And if he can stay out of foul trouble, and a lot of times that's easier said than done, you know, he might have a block-centric or a high block opportunity. And he did. He had 4 blocks and a steal, only 3 fouls. So good on Jaren Jackson Jr., 1 board away from a double-double. So some interesting results and some takes that pre-flop we saw come to fruition. So I'm happy with it. Hopefully you guys did all right. If you didn't, tonight it's a new day. Yes, it is. Let's open up some windows. If you guys wouldn't mind, for the party starts, hit that thumbs up. It's been scientifically proven to exponentially increase your luck and chances of success tonight. This stream's going to be powered by RunDFS.com. That's the place where we don't just play DFS, we run DFS. If you guys want to get access to the spreadsheet that I'll be referencing throughout the duration of this stream, it's behind the paywall, RunDFS.com. Let's go game by game here. Let's get cranked up. 1 game at lock, 7 p.m. for the Wizards hosting the New York Knicks. Project starting 5 for the Knicks. Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. I said, hey, Mitchell Robinson. Monte Morris, Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, Kristaps Porzingis, and Daniel Gafford for the Wizards, at least projected. Let's get the update on Mitchell Robinson. Let me see if it's speculatory to put him in that starting lineup right off the rip, or if we might expect Jericho Sims to get back or to continue to start. Mitch Rob has missed the last 14 games for New York, but he's got a chance to make his return against the Wizards. All right, so we'll see. And we'll know right off the rip. I do think with Mitchell Robinson, with Jericho Sims, and the emergence of Isaiah Hartenstein playing some meaningful minutes, that ultimately I just avoid all of the centers for the Knicks. And if I'm going to focus on anyone to target for DFS, it's going to be Jalen Brunson, it's going to be Julius Randle, and that's about it. A flock of seagulls. On the Wizards side, with Beal, Kuzma, Porzingis all in, kind of the Chicago Bulls approach here, where I might allow 2 of 3, but I have less warm and fuzzies with these guys coinciding, especially with ceiling. But I'm also just might get to 1 of 3, and the reason being that this should be a pretty paced down spot. Is an okay total at 224, but Knicks are one of the slower paced teams in the league, and Washington's not really pushing the pace themselves. So not expecting a whole lot of implied possessions here, but we can sink our teeth into some concentrated usage, revenge narrative, if you will, for Porzingis. I think Kuzma, points per dollar and minute expectation perhaps is the most intriguing here, but again, no warm and fuzzies here. I think all these guys end up being tier 3 options for me, and then Jalen Brunson has a shot to be the most intriguing and probably highest owned guy for me from this game. Let's go pull up the add more funds on off court tool. Let's get some actionable percentages for the Knicks. Let's see, we might walk away with Jalen Brunson. As we go game by game here, if you guys have already got some leans, or if you got some player props that you like, definitely share it with the class. We'll look into it. But let's look at Brunson and Randle on the court. And let's go since, how about January? Yeah, oh, that's December. Months. NRFI's dead already. So, who's playing right now? I feel like it's probably just, is anybody playing right now? I didn't have, let's see, MLB.com. Brunson has a 29% usage rate, a 23.7% assist rate, mirroring Julius Randle in usage, and leading the team in assist percentage. So, like, I guess if I wanted to get it to anything there, I think it would be, I guess, points, assists, or fantasy points here. So, what do we have on the board for the Knicks? Oh, we do have some. So, let's see. Texas is up 3-2 over KC. That's it. Let me see who started this game. You're on some real DGen stuff. You sweating these randos. Box score. We've got, is that Daniel Lynch? Okay. And Glenn Otto. Yeah, those are two contact pitchers. Lynch, not that good. Oof. Jalen Brunson, 26.5 real points, 5.5 assists. The assist line is a little bit intriguing to me, and then the fantasy score 41.5. That's probably pretty efficient considering the pace and matchup. I've been 42.9, so 43. So not much to speak of in terms of difference. I think this might ultimately just be a pretty efficient board for both teams here. Not sure I can split. I mean, maybe I sweat some unders from either side. With Mitch Rob back, maybe we could dive into. Actually, I don't know. I guess we gotta see if Mitch Rob even starts and what we might expect from a minute standpoint. So let's see. Let's focus on rebound rate for Randall. So right now he's at 18% of the team's total rebound opportunities when on the court with Jalen Brunson. Let's throw Mitchell Robinson on the mix, and we might even have to elongate back to October just to get a little bit more sample size. Now he's still at 18%. Mr. Robinson at 16%, 161 minutes. So didn't really take a big negative impact on total rebound opportunities. And a defensive rebound rate of 30%. Was that stable without Mitchell Robinson at 30%? Because that's pretty doggone impressive. If so, let's see. Let's pull it back. This is since January 1 too. 28.5. Yeah, pretty stable. So yeah, really, I don't even want to get into any unders here. So assist might be the more intriguing option. 26.5 is the line in the books. They got him right now 26.5, so that's pretty on point. We'll go to assist. What up, Ayo? You're Kuzma kills the Knicks. All right, yeah. Brunson 5.5. A little bit of steam on the over here. So if you're just looking for maybe market odds, or odds value rather, there might be a case to get into Brunson's over 5.5 assists. Is it enough warm and fuzzies right now to make that a clicky click? I'm gonna be reserved on that, but if we're just looking for odds value, that might be something that presents itself. And then Kevin said Kuzma kills the Knicks. Let's see, Kyle Kuzma DKP by game log versus Knicks. Let's go last 10 games. Let's put a little context to the production. 59-61, two really good scores. January, this is all about a month ago. Who started? Kuzma shared the court without Bradley Beal. And then in the other game, also Bradley Beal did play. So 27, 13, and 7. Took 24 shot attempts, 12 threes. What about in this one? 27 shot attempts, 10 threes. The Knicks, with Mitchell Robinson in the front court, all year have been a really strong interior defense. I think they're allowing amongst the fewest points in the paint in basketball. So it is reasonable to funnel some shots to the outside. Yeah, Knicks giving up the fewest points in the paint. Meanwhile, that must mean 3-point frequency is pretty doggone high. Yeah, Knicks seeing the 4th highest 3-point attempt frequency. So maybe some Kuzma 3-pointers. He's taking double-digit threes in both of those games. 2.5 threes is the line. So let's go 3-pointers. Let's see what the market's got Kuzma at. It's pretty even with some steam on the under, but I would probably, I don't know, I feel like I would lean the over just based on that. But let's see if shot volume has subsided. 13, 10 threes in the last 2 games. All right, I will tier 3 a Kuzma over 2.5 threes. How about that? Kyle Kuzma. Whoops. Over 2.5 threes. Makes sense, right? That's probably going to be it from this game. And everything else is like tier 3 for DFS. Giannis upgraded to questionable. Here we go. Do we like Brunson 8,900? Dude's a baller. I do. I like him more 8,400. I'm looking for the north side at 40. I'm not getting like a massive projection, but I'll take the 40, right? All right, let's move on to the next game. Hawks hosting the Cavs. Project 35 for the Cavs. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen taking on Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Sadiq Bey, Clint Capella. We got 227.5 total. 1 point spread in favor of the Atlanta Hawks. John Collins listed as out for the Hawks. And this is a tough spot, I guess, for front court offense for the Hawks and Clint Capella. So usually his line is 11.5, 12.5. What do we get today? 11.5. So, man, that got me in trouble sweating. I hate sweating such low lines for centers, but that makes sense in this particular spot. We just mentioned how points in the paint defense for the Knicks might help us funnel some offense through Kuzma from the perimeter. The Cavs are another elite interior defense, allowing a bottom 2, bottom 3 amount of points in the paint. And Clint Capella is going to score all of his points exclusively in the paint. So that's interesting. He has, let's see, he's averaging 11 points in the paint per game on essentially 11 points per game, right? He's averaging 12.2, so maybe a free throw or whatever implied in that number. So normally I would be inclined to push an under here, but I do think the line is efficient enough. So we're essentially banking that he doesn't make 6 shots or 5 shots and a couple of free throws. And I just think that, man, I don't think that's worth the sweat. But just out of due diligence, curiosity, go see what we got and see if the market agrees or disagrees. No, it's pretty much a coin flip. All right, cool. So we're just gonna leave that alone for now. Cavs on night 2 of a back-to-back. Hawks defense, something I can pick on. And one of the things about this matchup that I do like is that we're taking a very slow-paced Cavaliers team and putting them against a super pace-up matchup against the Hawks. Hawks averaging like 5 possessions more per game than the Cavs. So this might be a spot to attack Donovan Mitchell for real points. Hawks. Bing bang. Top 10.
Living with Cameron super chatted $4.99. I need to interrupt this stream for you to check my Discord message. Safe for stream, no cap.
All right, well, let me check it on the second screen. Appreciate the dono, Damron. Wait, Damron, is that you? Damn, man, that's not you, right? I mean, I know that's you, but is that your baby? If nah, I would have known that you had a baby on the way. Cute baby. Everyone say hi to the baby. No cap. Well, congrats to whoever's baby that is. I don't remember you expecting. That is you. Damn, how did I not know you had a baby on the way? Well, congratulations, brother. I assume that you named the baby after me in some fashion. Enjoy changing them diapers. Oh, you adopted her? Oh my god, that's so precious. Oh my god. Aww. Aww. Oh, look at her. She's so precious. Oh. How long have y'all been? Okay. We'll talk. I don't put your business out there. We'll jump in the voice chat sometime. But you'll be changing a lot of diapers and baby bottles. And look at her. Oh my god. Congrats, man. Congrats. I'm so happy for you. Appreciate the dono. So the sub 8K price point on Darius Garland looks really nice in this pace up spot. And then Donovan Mitchell is appropriately priced. So I do think the price point might keep his ownership low enough, but this is an explosion spot considering the matchup and what they might need. So I'll get to a little bit of Donovan Mitchell, probably be tier 3 levels of exposure. And then Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, both like interestingly priced. Trae Young's projections coming in soften up because of the defensive metrics in the algorithm here. So yeah, Sadiq Bey, if he's gonna enjoy some extra minutes in the absence of John Collins, 4,600 is really cheap on DraftKings, and that might also pick up some ownership. We'll have to make sure that he is starting here. I think it's reasonable to assume he's going to start, but I feel like there's at least a couple outs that maybe he wouldn't. But with let's see, with John Collins down, do we have a sample set? I know Sadiq Bey has started for the Hawks. Was that? Yeah, it was right here. So Sadiq Bey did start for John Collins against the Hornets, but the Hornets was a matchup that you maybe can get away with that. So I guess there's a chance. I'm saying that maybe like a Jalen Johnson or something like that with a little bit more size would slide into there. But I guess Sadiq Bey makes the most sense here. And if that's the case, at 4,600, even in a bad matchup, that's a pretty good opportunity. So yeah, Juice Vegas thinks Giannis is playing. I mean, a midday upgrade is right direction off of a decent break, right? And it could just be the market is jumping on that news, right? Could be both. Vegas could be adjusting, but also could just be reacting to some money that got slammed when that news dropped. Mobley and Allen, I'm fine with splitting the difference between them, tier 3 levels. Anything else from this game that we need to really make a priority to get behind? I guess Trae Young. What's his assist prop at? Is it, if it's ever single digits, I'm always intrigued. It's 10 on the nose. What about on No House? If they even offer it, they don't. 25.5 points. I love No House, but man, PrizePicks is like the best when it comes to a robust board. What's the market on Trae? Seeing 2 books adjust right now. I don't want to jump the gun on the props I'm holding. Yeah. Oh man, did Alex Hopper go down? That's not good. Well, that's not good. We might have to look for. Oh, here we go. All right. See if there's any steam. I'm guessing My guess would be Trey was at 9.5, and he's been steamed to 10. Is OddsShopper just down sometimes? This could be pretty. Oh no, here we go. I was gonna say that could be inconvenient. Trey, no, 10.5 steamed down to 10. It's the complete opposite of my guess. I don't bet unders on assists for Trae Young and Chris Paul and James Harden. Those are things we don't do. But I could see him losing some of those easy, maybe easy lobs against Capella or with Capella. So, let's see, Capella. Let's look at his fantasy points. 31 fantasy points. I do have some interest in that based on the matchup. But I don't want to do it. All right, so this is a DFS only game, I guess, for me for right now. We'll get into all those guys at tier 3 levels, but I think I could tier 2 Darius Garland, and maybe Trae Young. And Sadiq Bey is a potential. He's at least a risky value for now, and then if he starts in that, or if he's in the starting lineup at 4,600, he might be a high owned risky value or a core value, depending on what else opens up here, right? And then the Hawks, points in the paint is a little bit leaky. Mobley and Allen seem to both kind of share these spike games. Mobley had a good game last night, 19 shot attempts. That's back-to-back games, despite, a week apart, 10 days apart, 8 days apart of 19 shot attempts. Maybe Mobley points is intriguing. What would be a fair market line? 15.5 or something? 18 is his line. Wow. I don't want to sweat that. I think that's good. 38.5 fantasy points is his line. Man, they are not playing around when it comes to that Hawks defense, huh? And you know what's weird? I saw a stat the other during the break. I think StatMuse tweeted that out. I think it was something like the Hawks starting five had like the best defensive rating from a starting five with X amount of minutes. But it sure feels like I've been picking on them a lot for DFS. So maybe, I don't know. Stats are weird. 21 points for Garland. 8 assists. Can we get down with some Garland assists? What's up, Jake? What up, Catelza? What up, L. Davis? How are you? What up, JSM? What defense? Dude, I had to find the stat. I know I'm not making that up. Let's see. Hawks starting. And in the context of that sentence, I pick on the Hawks defense, but I know I read a stat during the break that said that the Hawks starting five had the best defensive rating in like 300 minutes together, which was stunning to me because it sure doesn't feel like that, right? Let me get Garland on the court real quick. Let's see if Garland's still pushing like a 30% assist rate. Let's put Garland and Mitchell and see what happens. Man, who tweeted? I want to say StatMuse did it or something. It had to be StatMuse. No, like who else would tweet that I follow? You know? Let's see, StatMuse Hawks. Let's see, defensive. Now it's gonna bug me if I don't find it. Let's see. Collins. Here it is. Yep, I found it. All right. So you guys know I'm not like imagining things. They tweeted us on the 20th. The best defensive rating by a 5-man lineup this season. Minimum 300 minutes. Young, DeJounte, Hunter, Collins, Capella. Who knew? So yeah, all right. Apparently that's the glue is DeAndre Hunter there, but like yeah, it doesn't feel like that, right? Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell on. Garland has a 30% assist rate, so for his line to be about 8 with the pace implied extra possessions because of the matchup, maybe a little back-to-back fatigue, I could be interested in 8. Appreciate that, JSM. I hope you're doing all right. So it's 7.5. It got steamed up. Some spots already up to. Just went up to 8. I guess some books have it at 8.5. So I would probably be a couple of the check boxes here, right? We can maybe get an above average performance because of the pace up spot. Let's see. Let's go with Cleveland last night. I'm somewhat intrigued. What's the last game that Rubio played though? Or does it even matter here? Because Rubio could represent some firecracker minutes, and he didn't play last night. I think he's good to go tonight, right? That's basically the major pushback that I would have is, could Rubio play enough minutes? 23, 17, 16. So let's go get like, I don't know, the 11th and the 8th for Garland, I guess. In terms of minutes per, we'll just go here. 11th and the 8th. 37 minutes. He didn't play the 8th. And San Antonio, he played just 30 minutes, but that was a little bit more lopsided. All right, I'm gonna list it as a lean here. I'm spending probably too much time on this spot. And I'm gonna go tier 2 here. Darius Garland over 8 assists. Just makes enough sense, right? Bucks hosting the Heat. Project 75 for the Heat. Gabe Vincent, Tyler Hero, Caleb Martin, Jimmy G Buckets up, and Bam Adebayo up against who knows? Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, and Brook Lopez. The projected lineup an hour ago. 219 total, 1.5 point spread. And then moments ago, we've got an upgrade that moved Giannis Antetokounmpo from doubtful to questionable. And that's interesting enough for designation purposes. So I don't really know. I guess we'll refresh this. If Giannis plays, like, he probably becomes the only guy I'm interested in from the Bucks side. I mean, I guess maybe Drew Holiday has a little meat on the bone on FanDuel at 8K, but everyone else is just kind of priced all the way up to the matchup not being that enthralling of a spot. So let's go back to has anybody seen like a beat writer quote on that, or is it just simply Budenholzer's like, it was actually questionable, not doubtful, which doesn't really mean much. I still got a doubtful tag here. He avoided quote. See, he looked really not 100% during the All-Star game, right? I feel like I still lean out here, but that's kind of annoying. No one can cover Mobley. I think that's fair. So I like Mobley definitely from a DFS standpoint. From a I guess, what would we say? The prop was 18, 19 points. Like, he could certainly still eclipse that. but the line just feels more efficient that I don't know that I want to make it something I want to sweat, you know? 3.5. So I had -1.5 when I made the spreadsheet, and we're seeing some movement already. You know, another 1.5 points. So I really don't know what to make of that. We just have to play it by ear. It is part of the 7:30 games, so we only have one game at lock. It's not that enthralling. If the slate locked at 7 and you didn't have anything from Washington and New York, I don't feel like you're you know, under the gun. So thankfully, the party hasn't started too much for this Giannis news. If and when it does come, and we can adjust accordingly. So I think that's how we do it. I don't want to waste too much time playing if this then that with Giannis here, right? But if he is out, certainly we know Drew Holiday and Middleton have historically had increased usage, and their permanent production is really, really good. At best, though, it's a bad matchup, or a tough matchup at that. And Middleton's been working on a restriction. On this side of the All-Star break, I was certainly interested in seeing if we start seeing that 25-minute limit start stretching to 30, because he has been really good in his minutes off the bench, and really productive from a DFS standpoint. So it certainly would be tempting if Giannis was out to click on a 6.3K Middleton, because even at like 7.5K, if he was off the chain, he'd probably be pretty high owned. So I'd be curious to see where his ownership did fall. I've stretched him 2 minutes above his recent limit. But Drew Holiday, I think, would be the most intriguing click, and probably the guy that garnered the most ownership and still stands to garner the most ownership in the absence of Giannis here. So just as a usage check here, let's just put Giannis off the court, Drew Holiday on the court. Not really messing with much else, but we get a 30% usage on Drew with a 38% assist rate. So those are numbers that we want to attack. And against the Heat, they have essentially a funnel defense where they push shots out of the paint with one of the best interior defenses in Bam Adebayo, and funnel to more threes, kind of like the Knicks situation where they face amongst the league highest amount of 3-point frequency. So maybe we'd want to target some 3-point shooters, and then we'd also probably want to target the guards here. So Drew Holiday is going to project pretty well, and irregardless of the Giannis status, 8K for Drew Holiday on FanDuel looks pretty enticing. If Giannis was out, I would want to get exposure to some 3-point shooters, and I don't really know who that would be. I guess it would be Drew. Drew leads the team in 3-point attempts per game, and everyone else is just kind of tied. Essentially five 3-point attempts per game for Grayson Allen, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez even. We could have a Miles Turner situation where, you know, instead of scoring in the paint, just shoots more threes. And Brook is a mid-long range guy anyway. So, I guess we look at Bucks 3-point process. I'm sure it's probably all off the board now, right? No, it's not. Okay. 1.5 threes for Brook Lopez. Stop me. Let's see what shot first got. Giannis is playing all the books redid the lines. I mean, the 1.5 line movement. Like, I'm not right. I guess. I don't know. But I would understand why we would assume that from where we're at now. But even if, I don't know. It's just such a headache to speculate, because it's so easy to be wrong in this spot. Underdog NBA and Fantasy Lab said it. What did they say? Oh, that he was listed as questionable? Yeah. Just grab prop value on PrizePicks, secure a 6 flex game stack all before the bumps. Yeah, I mean, so I would say this. If you're just looking for potential opportunity and taking advantage, but I guess all these lines are probably speculating that Giannis was out, right? Because if Giannis was in, I think the board would just be blank right now. So the value would be in the unders, right? Because I'm assuming that these lines are set for the implication that Giannis was out. So I'm just saying. Drew at 2.5 threes. That's the one that's intriguing to me. That and Brook Lopez. Those two are the most intriguing. But Drew being a guy that, in the potential absence of Giannis, would probably lead the team in minutes and shot volume. And with the Miami Heat defensive scheme being one that would encourage more threes, that would be the one that I would probably be intrigued with. But because of the impending news, it's probably irresponsible to get too attached to that from this far out, right? And that 1.5 threes on Brook Lopez is very interesting as well. But Bobby Portis will pull up too from behind the arc, so it gets real wishy-washy. The assist rate though for Drew is nice, but I'm expecting it's gonna be a tough matchup. But the assist and the threes would be the most intriguing clicks for me. For DFS though, 8K Drew Holiday is gonna be playable no matter what, especially if Giannis is down. And then 6,400 Bobby Portis, a $1,200 discount towards his DraftKings counterpart. Really good click as well. So I'm in on that. And then on the Heat side, 9+K Bam Adebayo. It's a tough spot for him on paper. Offensively, he's a guy that's averaging 20+ points per game. The Bucks aren't like as elite in defending points in the paint, but they're not bad. They're still up there. And Brook Lopez has been a really good defender, especially when it comes to blocks per game. So maybe if Giannis is in, on top of the matchup, where Adebayo might have to play a little bit more defense, would maybe Adebayo unders be something we want to fish around for real points? 20.5 for real points. How about we stat Bam Adebayo, DKP by game log versus Giannis Antetokounmpo last 10 games. Giannis Antetokounmpo. 16, 18, 20, 20, 17, 16. So once in the last 10 games, Adebayo has eclipsed 20 points. And right now, 20 in the hook is the line. So if you think Giannis is in, that helps their interior defense, him and Brook. And have we seen foul trouble? Just 1-2 games here with maybe some foul trouble. Played 41 minutes in this game. This is a playoff series, so even in the playoffs where you're playing stupid minutes, like he jumped over that. So I guess if you think Giannis plays, even if it doesn't, this Adebayo line might not move, but I like the under better if Giannis is in. So if Giannis is in, I'd probably be somewhat interested in the 20.5 under for Adebayo. Let's go look at the points market for Adebayo. Got him under 32. Pierre, hey, that actually might be interesting too. Just grab the biggest number possible, and it's gonna be PRA. Like I doubt he's gonna have 18 rebounds. A little bit of there's people really love them some overs. Let's see what PRA is on Adebayo. What's up, KJ? My name is KJ, aka KJ52. 35.5. 35.5. So that might be the move. Grab the biggest number and take the under. Yeah, I'd probably do that. Give us a couple more outs. Couple more outs. You guys know anything else with these other Heat? I guess Jimmy Butler on DraftKings, $8,500, $1,000 cheaper than FanDuel. Maybe double bonus, less turnover, a sting. Looking nice there. Tyler Hero's an awkward click. Even at 20 points, like he's not guaranteed to blow you away from a fantasy perspective. And then Kevin Love might play, right? Or he should play. It's not like he was hurt. And then I had Cody Zeller as well. All this is like making me really interested in these Adebayo unders here. Zeller plans to sign with Miami on Monday. Coming up versus I don't know. He might just be a depth piece. So we'll see. There's a lot that's put me on Adebayo unders. Let me list it as a tier 3. Bam Adebayo under 35.5 PRA, 20.5 points. We'll start as a tier 3 and see what we'll see from there, you know? What's up, Darius? Got him on 32.5 points and rebounds. Oh, just PR. That's probably smart too. Adebayo has a 15% assist rate. It's not good, but it's not terrible, right? 14.5% rebound rate. Yeah. All right. Nets at the Bulls. Projects 25 for the Nets. Spencer Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Nick Claxton, taking Ayo Dosunmu, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Nikola Vucevic. We got 2-2-2 and another one. 2 is our total and a 2-point spread. That's 2-2 too dang much in favor of the Chicago Bulls. We have a little bit more data now on who the Brooklyn Nets might be. And we saw Mikal Bridges emerge on the other side of the All-Star break with a massive game. So do we think that's going to be normal? Here, what up, Conscious? 24 shot attempts against Miami. 45 points. 45 points. 20 plus real points. Essentially as far as the eye can see before the transfer. And that was when, Devin Booker was down. So Mikal Bridges is showing that he can be a scorer here in La Liga. So, what can we get on Brooklyn? Mikal Bridges, where you at, buddy? 8.5 rebounds at 20 points. That's interesting. All right, let's go back to this query for the Nets, and let's just put Bridges on the court. And that should be somewhat encompassing to the post-trade situation here. 99 minutes, $1.25 fantasy points per minute with a 30.6% usage. It's reasonable to expect him and Dinwiddie to continue to be the top 2 scorers here, right? So do you guys think 20 is still attackable? See what the market thinks. And then while we load that, under 8K, I mean, this just still might be good opportunity for Bridges, because on top of his new potential usage level, he's a guy that we've known for years, plays a lot of minutes in competitive games. 36 minutes against Miami there. The Knicks game got, I think, a little bit lopsided. But we'll look at some rotations as well, though, because the Nets are deeper and still have some room for volatility in terms of rotations. So let's look at this Knicks game. Mikal Bridges. All right, so it looks like there was 4 minutes of towel time. So if we added 4, yeah, it'd be another 34, 35 minute game if the game was a little bit more competitive. So let's go back to the market. So 19.5 was the line, and the field adjusted to 20. They don't give us Bridges points overall. Let's see if we got Bridges in the pick'em contest. 21.5. Wow, they weren't playing around. All right, I'll take a little action on that, but I think right now I'd presume it more so efficient. 40 is a little anomalic, or maybe not anomalic, but a little bit unsustainable, obviously. But the 30% usage is nice. So like if he became a 24, 25 point per game guy, I'm not surprised. So I'm a little bit intrigued. Do I want to start slapping it on some parlay style bets? I'm undecided. I might get there. I might. What else can we take away from those numbers, though? What about Dinwiddie's assist rate? Not 25%. Claxton has a 29% assist rate? What? What is that about? Is that like offensive rebounds, pass it to a shooter? That doesn't make sense. I don't think that's right. That can't be right. Right? That can't be right. That ain't right. %8 assist rate on the season. I feel like there's either my eyes are broken. It says 2 fantasy points per minute in the 65 minutes with Bridges. I feel like this is not right, y'all. I don't know. 32% usage. This man is James Harden. I'm just gonna not try and figure that out. From a DFS standpoint, you can give me some Dinwiddie, some Bridges. Pretty much take shots on all these guys. The Claxton opportunity on DraftKings versus FanDuel, $1,400 difference in price point. I'll definitely be more interested in shares of that on the DK side. What did we get for Claxton props over on? I guess I had Brooklyn pulled up. 12.5 points, 10 rebounds. That's all pretty fair. 33 fantasy points. That's kind of on the nose. On the Bull side, same approach. 1 of 3, maybe 2 of 3. But I still expect the Nets to be. This lineup looks just like a good defense. So I don't want to pick on it too much. So I definitely think 1 of 3 is my approach here. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, that's what I got. Let's see what you guys got. What's up, Dave? Hope you're doing all right. Rudy Gobert for the win. You think so? Where are we at on likes? 35 with 200 viewers? Guys, come on. If not for me, then how about for Damron and the new baby girl? She deserves 100 likes. Welcome to the world. Your new dad has the best voice ever. Let's get 100 likes for her. Who starts if Shai sits? God, Shai sits, man. Trey Man, I don't know. That could get really annoying. Hornets at the T-Wolves. Projects 35 for the Hornets. LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, Mark Williams taking on Mike Conley. Crossing over with Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Kyle. The Andersons got tickets to the game. How'd they get tickets? Rudy Gobert, 240.5 total. 6.5 point spread in favor of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards cover boy. for a reason. We love picking on the Hornets. Bad defense, fast pace, extra possessions, and Anthony Edwards right now has a lot of concentrated usage in the absence of not only Karl-Anthony Towns, but now life without D'Angelo Russell. And we can go to the on-off court tool and pull up Minnesota. What are we thinking is per minute production? Like 1.3, 1.25 with 40 minutes? I don't know. D-Russ and the big cat, Ernie Ladd. This is all since January 1. So just no D-Russ since Cat hasn't played. 1.36 fantasy point per minute, 37% usage. That's really good. Edwards. With Edwards here, if we're going to just pick on the Hornets, I don't mind grabbing a shot at fantasy because Edwards is one of those guys that will get you some steals. 1.6 steals per game. And we know the extra pace and LaMelo can be a little bit sloppy. So that might be 3, 6, 9 fantasy points. How many of you guys just yelled Mafia when I said that? If that's you, hit the thumbs up. 47 fantasy points is his line. I'm at 50. That's pretty appropriate. But if I want to sweat some Edwards overs, I think I want to go fantasy points. Unless he's super turnover prone. Super. He can certainly offset, but I think the steal potential is definitely high here. So I'm kind of intrigued in Edwards' fantasy points over on PrizePicks, and we said it's 47 over 47.5 FPS. And then we might be able to get into maybe some rebounds. Let's see. Maybe. I guess we go Gobert on the court. His total rebound rate. It's not as... Is Gobert completely good? Yeah, he is. Alright. It would Gobert on the court. I think, what was it? Rebounds and assists I was taking at like 10.5 every game. Maybe I can get down with that. We'll see. 6.7% of total rebound opportunities, but Gobert is at 26%. Is Gobert like at 12.5 rebounds? Oh, over here, 5.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. So it's gone up to 11 PR. 3.5 free throws is intriguing too. Let's go Gobert. 14.5 rebounds. Holy cow. Oh man, that's incredible. It makes sense. 25% total rebound rate. And then on the season, almost a 19% rebound rate. That's beautiful. That's incredible. All right, how about some Gobert points then? Maybe get some more offensive rebounds. Have we ever seen a 14.5 rebound prop before, like in the league? Is that just life for him? 15 shot attempts against Washington. So something that I was tracking was to see his offensive involvement progress, or to see if it would progress, because there was murmurs on D'Angelo Russell having beef with him. And Mike Conley has a history of working with Gobert. So I thought it would be natural to see Gobert's points, or have an opportunity on Gobert's points. 15.5 feels right though. Like, it feels high. So I would say that's efficient. Gobert's been that high. Yeah, I feel like if there's anybody, it's Gobert, but wow. Let's go points on Gobert. Rudy Gobert. Remix. Little coin flippy. So let's see. Hornets defensive rebound rate. Let's see. What's a good way to just throw defensive rebound? Let's go. Let's put Mark Williams on the court for the Hornets. and see what there's a 21 16%. They spread out rebounds pretty well. The number I want to get is a specific number for defensive rebound rate. So maybe StatMuse can help us out here. Let's go Charlotte Hornets defensive rebound rate. Let's go last 10 games to try to encompass. Rate is not 340 defensive rebounds in their last 10. That's not what I want. How about rebound percentage? Is this something I can quantify? A 72.3% defensive rebound rate in their last 10 games. So %72 would be about league average. I don't know. I was just trying to see if we can fall into some offensive rebounds for Rudy Gobert. But it just looks like it's going to be average. But it's got a above average matchup and above average in pace. So we're gonna play Rudy Gobert. I was just trying to get into some props for him. And I don't think that anything is priced to where I could feel great about it. Maybe fantasy points, right? Because I think maybe something that's not being accounted for here. I mean, shoot. We said 14.5 rebounds plus 15.5 points. I mean, that's 30 PR right there, which is halfway to 40 fantasy points. You throw in some blocks with how undersized the Hornets can be. Blocks allowed per game. Hornets allow the second most blocks per game. I guess that's the move then, is Gobert fantasy points. I'm at 45.5. I think that's where the value is for me on PrizePicks, is the Gobert fantasy points. We just did all that. We'll take it in the name of the blocks. FPS. Yeah. Rozier, I always like taking 2.5 threes for Rozier. It's a fun sweat. It's on the board. And then LaMelo assists. What are we looking at? 9 assists. I'm fine with that. Let's see. Let's go back to Melo Ball assist percentage. Let's go last 10 games. I'm going to go last 10 games, just trying to catch up with Mark Williams. 35% assist rate last 10 games. So I might take that. Pair the LaMelo assists with Rozier over 2.5 threes. Any pushback from you guys on that? Is Giannis worth putting on my pick since he's questionable? See, me personally, no. Is he even on the board? No? Or unless, are you talking about just like a sportsbook card? They have lines for Giannis? If they did, I'd probably be intrigued in the under just because he's possibly not 100%. But ultimately, no. Unless you're talking about just for DFS lineups. And then also no from this far out. I wouldn't commit to anything. What was I doing? Oh, seeing the market on LaMelo. So he just got steamed up from 8.5. So that's fine. It's 240 total. If you tell me that they're gonna contend for 115 plus, I think LaMelo has his hand in it, and LaMelo's been playing stupid minutes. Let's get the update on Rozier. I guess I see that he has a tag, but I think he's good. Him and Oubre, huh? Rozier's probably. Oh, Oubre probable. I slept on that, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Do we think Oubre has an instant impact on Hayward or Rozier points? Because they could get screwed. And it also could just mean LaMelo doesn't play 40 minutes a game, right? That could have a domino effect. Maybe I'm not as excited for LaMelo's anything. Let's see what Rozier's point prop. 21.5. I think this just becomes a super volatile situation where we know how to attack it for DFS, but So I'm on my DFS lineup for tonight. I'm skipping Giannis. Yeah, Steve, I think I don't think you have to make commitments this far out. Remember, there's only one game at lock, and it's not even a game that looks like it's that lucrative for DFS. So you don't have to make a lineup until the Giannis news comes out. Just have a placeholder ready. Yeah, I know. LaMelo under 41 PRA. You like that? I can see that. Because 41 just might be. Just might be max price as a product of basketball without Oubre, because now you can reprieve a little bit more with Dennis Smith and Oubre. So LaMelo 40.5 is the line. So do we have an opportunity here at PRA? 41.5. So there's odds value on that because that line's not supposed to be 41.5. So I think that's a good call. Kevin, yeah, it's gonna go down to 40.5. So it's gonna drop down 1. So I like that. Get it while you can get it. I don't know why I said it like that. LaMelo Ball under 41.5 PRA. Market's gonna move. All right, cool. How many games we got? We got a couple games. Might need to put a little pep in our step. Next game on the docket, Warriors hosting the Rockets. Projects 35 for the Rockets. Hiccup. Ty Washington, Josh Christopher, Kenyon Martin, Jabari Smith, and Operant Şengün taking on Jordan Poole. Klay Thompson, Dante DiVincenzo, Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green. 230.5 total, 10.5 point spread in favor of the Golden State Warriors. Warriors home, double-digit favorites. So, a couple things. One, I want to verify this Warriors lineup. Last night, they started Kuminga and Draymond in lieu of Kevin Looney. Looney still played 19 minutes and still was a rebound machine. But certainly, wiggle room between them getting funky with that starting lineup. And the other thing was, on back-to-backs, we've seen them, and we've seen Klay Thompson play back-to-backs, but there's also, a double-digit spread where if Steve Kerr hit us with a curveball later, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. Steve Kerr relayed Wednesday that Thompson will be available for back-to-backs in the second half of the season. All right, well, that's good to know then. What do we want to do with this game? First half overs. The Rockets feel like the Blazers from last night, where it just feels like one of these guys is going to be nutty, while others are going to be landmines. What was ownership on Rockets value? Josh Christopher's the guy that everyone's going for. Şengün's up there. Eason's up there. Kenyon Martin, meh. So it looks like Christopher, Şengün, and Tari Eason. So is Christopher the most volatile out of those three? I guess Eason as well. Eason had that spike. It was Eason, right? That went nutty in 19 minutes against OKC with that 19-point possession. So they're all very volatile. I don't really know how to quantify a plan of attack here. I guess at these ownerships, I would maybe just want to limit the overlap between. I don't even know. Chad, if you thought, or if you knew pre-flop that Josh Christopher was in half of the field's lineups, what do you do with that? I don't. And this is just a question. There's no wrong answer. I'm just genuinely curious how the community here wants to strategize this. Is there a range of outcome where no one on the Rockets is needed? I feel like no, but like, could they have a 10-man rotation still, or a 12-man rotation? Because they only have 2 guys down. It's Jalen Green, Kevin Porter. Like, they could still just play Trevor Hudgens. You know what I mean? But I guess the slate's not really offering us a ton of value elsewhere. That's a lot of names. So I'm thinking parameters. Max 2. And start negatively correlating the guards. So that way, like, they could still land together. You know what I mean? Like, if I put, I don't know, if I put Christopher, Eason, and Washington in a group, take the guy I like the most and start docking a couple percentage on the projection for the other guys. I think that's fair. But that 40+% ownership is pretty beefy. Pretty beefy. Şengün getting 50+ on DraftKings tonight. Is he? He can. Easton's gonna smash in dead time. In garbage time, yeah. I guess that's kind of like what we saw last night. There could be 6 minutes in the fourth quarter that are just all-star defense, you know? Comes down to a starting lineup. Jason Tate or Dacian Knicks can start. Yeah, I agree. You think Christopher does better than Love? What is a Trevor Hudgens? What the heck is Juice? I'm gonna play Josh if he's in half the lineups. He has crazy upside. 15 to 20 fantasy point floor. I think the fact that garbage time could just like ruin any bit of research is really annoying, right? So let's put Christopher on the court. Do we like, what's the last game that Jalen Green didn't play? And was Eric Gordon? I guess we can go Şengün, Alperen, Şengün, DKP by game log without Jalen Green. Let's go last 5 games. Basically, all I'm doing here is pulling the date. I don't really care about the production. February 3rd and February 1. So, also feel a sneeze coming and it burns. Oh, Rockets and Raptors. So Gordon did play that Thunder game, but in that game, Knicks, Kenyon Martin, Şengün, Jabari Smith started, and then in the second game, Gordon started as well. So yes, you could replace Gordon with any of these guys. That's annoying. Draymond's questionable. Oh, we did get a little bit of news, huh? So Draymond midday questionable on a back-to-back in a 10-point spread. What that makes me want is Kevin Looney rebounds. There's no shot we got like a discounted price on that. We don't even have a price on that. Okay. So if they give us Looney later in the day at like 9.5, I'd probably still take it. Such a good spot. Because if you lose Wiggins, no Wiggins and Draymond, like Looney might have like a 20, well, I don't know, 24% rebound rate. Oh, it's Golden State. Guys, I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure out Houston 5 hours out or whatever it is. I think we're just going to have to spin the wheel and be flexible when that lineup comes out. Let's put Looney on the court. And let's take off Dre and Wiggins. What's up, Dez? 26%. I called it. 26% of total rebound opportunities. A 33% defensive rebound rate. I would take a 9.5 line, but I don't know that we're gonna get one soon. But I also would I would play Kevin Looney for DFS probably. 4,700. Heck yeah. I have so many tabs open. There it is. Let's go rebounds. Let's see if they even give us that. We don't have it. All right. If that Draymond news develops later, it drops maybe. If I had to like make lineups right now, it would be that Draymond's out. And then what that also do, and you know I'm a sucker for Jordan Poole assists. Draymond is the other guy with the assist rate here, right? So we might get some actual primary ball handling for Poole. And Poole, I think Poole got his 5 assists yesterday, so I think he at least pushed for us. He missed my PRA. Or no, he only got 4. All right, well, it was me. Whoa. 22% assist rate actually goes down. It's pretty spread out. But that's only 74 minutes. %33 usage. So if Draymond's down, I think it naturally gives us peripherals to attack for everybody. Jordan Poole. I'm a sucker for the assist. The blowout scares me, but I'm a sucker for the assist. Poole failed. Yeah, it's brutal. The other guy I was sweating for assists last night, I think he pushed. Who was it? Clarkson, I think. Oh, it got steamed down. We'll see if it gets steamed back up. Looks like they pulled it off the board for like BetMGM, and that's probably a direct response to the Draymond Green news. We'll see. We caught up on chat. What up, Vic? What up, Doug? What up, CW? Brendan Dennis. Appreciate all you guys for being here. DFS wise, I'm getting the Jordan Poole, a little bit of Clay. Could be a Clay day in terms of threes. Rockets see a lot of threes anyway. A lot of fast break points. We know the Warriors push the pace on that. Yeah, we're just worried about fourth quarter here. We'll watch that movement, see if that spread moves or adjusts at all. All right, 2 games left on the docket. Let's take a pause for the cause. Let you guys know, after the party, it's the after party. After the stream, it's the Discord lobby. I'll be in the voice chat, chilling, making a player pool, getting ready for the lock, trying to find some props. If you guys want to join me, grab a pass, man. The All-Star break pass is probably your best value here. $300 because you're locked into the baseball All-Star break, July 11th, maybe 7th. I think it's 11th. $100 credit towards Fantasy Cruncher, man. So basically $200 gets you all the way to the All-Star break. I think that's the one. That's the one, Billy Gunn. Get in there. Once you do that, click VIP portal, and then you'll be able to get a couple links. The most important link that you will see is for the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. And then in a little bit, I'll be right here. NBA voice chat, man. Jump on in. Drop a year. Love to have you. Also, as we're perusing game by game here, we've been looking at lines provided by No House Advantage. PrizePicks, Thrive, and Underdog. And every single one of those sites have been gracious enough to agree to partner with me to offer our community double your first deposit up to $100. Every single site. So if you don't have an account on PrizePicks or Underdog or Thrive or No House Advantage, sign up, use my code, get double your first deposit, and then anytime you guys put my name in there, it's like, yo, they're here because of Gun, so we should hook Gun up, and it helps keep you guys, or helps keep these streams and the content free and out there every day. So it's just a beautiful circle of life. So I appreciate that if you guys want to. And then it's definitely worth having multiple accounts. Just like sports betting, it's worth having accounts on all these different sites so you can attack the best lines possible as you're firing off your tickets. Next game on the docket, Phoenix Suns hosting the Oklahoma City Thunder. Project starting five for the Thunder: SGA, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams taking on Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Josh Okogie, Torrey Craig, and DeAndre Ayton. 229.5 total, 8-point spread in favor of the Phoenix Suns. We need to check on SGA. He is questionable. Night 2 of back-to-back, by the way. I feel like I had a hiccup, and it did hiccup. Right ankle soreness. Dude, I love the pretzel bacon burgers from Wendy's. But man, there's a lot of hiccups after putting one of those stats, blah, 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 blah. All right, so it is a back-to-back for them. Like a true questionable tag here for SGA on a team that's tanking. I don't think they need to rest SGA to lose this game. But maybe it's just bubble wrapping your boy. If he didn't play, we could see doors open for anyone. Isaiah Joe, Lindy Waters. I don't know if like Aaron Wiggins is with the team. I know he's like always flying back and forth. Heck, we just look at the depth chart. Trey Mann has picked up minutes in the past. So really not sure what the plan would be there if SGA couldn't go. And if he just can't go, we just might get point guard Josh Giddey. You know what I mean? It's a uphill battle, bad matchup, any which way you slice it. But there is opportunity. So 7,500 Josh Giddey probably wouldn't be a warm and fuzzy click no matter what. But in the absence of SGA, that's a ton of usage and implied points. I mean, 31 points per game. Spread that out. Somebody's going to score the basketball. So I'd be leaning on Josh Giddey probably the most. I don't feel like we would have a ton of tangible or actionable sample size. I guess we could elongate from the beginning of last year, but like even then, yeah, I don't know. What are you guys doing here? Josh Giddey, let's put Giddey on and Shea off and just ballpark it there from the start of the new year. .240 minutes. Giddey has a 27% usage rate, almost a 1.2 fantasy point per minute, and a 31% assist rate. Well, I cannot quit you. I'm stuck on assist rates, bro. I feel like that's like every day I'm like, oh, this assist rate's pretty high. I'm in. The 1.2 fantasy point per minute is nice. I wish he was like 6.5K. I don't know, man. This is one of those commitment issues from this far out because we may not have definitive SGA news to take action on with enough time. And that Utah, that altitude to anywhere back to back is always a tough one too. I guess we would have to get some exposure to him in the assumption that SGA was out. And then if SGA was in, I wouldn't really be that interested, and we could probably swap out at the 7K price range, 7.5. I'm not even sure where we would go. Yeah, I might just rock steady it. Already messed up donating my lunch money for the month. Hope he sits rest for Portis back or Porsche back. Portis? Is that a Bobby Portis Giannis thing? Here, what up, Locksme? Hope you're doing all right. So anyway, we'll just have to stay on our toes here and react accordingly. The Thunder slates are annoying. Rocket slates are annoying. Put them together. Maybe it means we'll get a slate coming up without either one of the headaches. But they're just going to be... Ugh. Yuck. On the Sun side, Devin Booker. Let's keep an eye on his minutes going forward. It seemed like they were slowly raising his pitch count. He got to 35 minutes against the Clippers on the other side of the All-Star break. Now, the pushback here would be if SGA is out, they probably move to like 13.5, 14.5 point favorites, something like that. It'd probably be something crazy. So that would potentially dock, 5 minutes in the fourth quarter if everything played out accordingly. So maybe not. Maybe that helps us out for the next slate, and we can get a break on PRA. But I have been taking some shots on Booker PRA in the last couple games, but those are more competitive game scripts. So in this situation, I think I'm just attacking it for DFS, and I think that's the only way I do it. 8,100 on Ayton stands out. 8K-ish for Paul on both sites. Sure, 40 plus, but I am thinking we're getting low side minutes here, and they have a chance to be kind of spread out. Maybe we do first half stuff, or maybe even first quarter stuff. I want to say Booker does like 6 minutes and subs out, but I could be wrong. Let me see. Phoenix. Let's look at that Pistons game. Wait, is that? Yeah. Oh, I'm still stuck in the other one. YZ Ocean. Thank you for the sub. I hope you're doing fantastic. Booker, 8 minutes. Sacramento. Booker, 6 to 7 minutes. All right, so whatevs. All right, I'm just gonna play it for DFS. I don't think prop betting with so much volatility here is the move for me. Plumlee over 2.5 assists. How we feeling? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Kings at the Clippers. Project starting five for the Kings. De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis taking on Russell Westbrook. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, and Mason Plumlee. Ivica Zubac listed as out. So the immediate question was Plumlee 2.5 assists. Well, there's a lot of moving pieces and variables in this situation. First of all, it's a new team for Plumlee, and Russell Westbrook is expected to start. There's a lot of primary ball handlers here, so I think if you're hoping for Plumlee to eclipse 2.5 assists, you're probably hoping for some offensive rebounds, and instead of him putting it back, he just passes it to a shooter, which is very possible, but it's there's probably not a ton of meat on the bone. And a lot of our Plumlee, like if you're just game log chasing for Plumlee, remember he played for a pretty sloppy offense in the Charlotte Hornets. If we look at offensive rating, the Hornets have the worst offensive rating in the league. And what that means is they're missing a lot of shots, right? So there's a lot of rebound potential. I think the Clippers are going to be more efficient. They're also going to be a lot slower. So less implied possessions, better efficiency. Maybe Russell Westbrook negates that. But I guess what I would say is I don't really have a lean on that, and I would probably not want to sweat that, just because there's too much. So that's my lean there. I just don't know that we have enough data to make an actionable decision that is data based. Bars. What's up, Travis? Any locks on PrizePicks? I don't have any locks yet, but the list that we're working on, no tier ones, but had Garland 8 assists, Rudy Gobert 39.5 fantasy points. I like that one quite a bit. I think he's gonna play some minutes. I think 39 is too low. And the tiebreaker here is like they got him implied for heck of rebounds and points, but I don't know that they're compensating enough for potential block upside. So with blocks being +3 over, in their scoring, I think this could be a 2-3 block game, and that's 9 points right off the rip. So you put that with his implied points and rebounds. I think I get to Gobert pretty heavily on the over 39.5 fantasy points. And then some odds value on LaMelo Ball, 41.5 PRA with, first of all, the line in the books right now is 40.5. So, and then with Kelly Oubre back. So that's what we got. Locks is not a thing so far. Westbrook and Love for the Heat, right? Probably about to withdraw all my entries and play Showdown. Giannis being upgraded changes everything. Yeah, that's fair. But hey, remember it's essentially at lock, right? I know it's not, but there's only one game at lock, and like for me, that game is basically Jalen Brunson. Like in 150, I get to some cool, like, you know what I mean? But like if you're running 20 or less lineups and you got to none of this game, like while I do like Brunson and the thought of a couple of these guys, if you got to none of that, none of the Knicks or Wizards, the slate basically locks at 7:30 with the Giannis game, so you would have the Giannis news. So maybe don't get too discouraged because you'll have time. We'll have time. Anyway, Kings fast pace, high offensive efficiency. We're piecing together what the Clippers might look like here. Russell Westbrook being immediately inserted into the starting lineup is kind of an interesting nugget because Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, while they don't have to be ball dominant, they can be ball dominant. It's just like there's many paths pre-flop to wonder who benefits and who doesn't. And I think what Russell Westbrook's game, assists and rebounds, maybe we start taking that away from some of these guys. And then the front court without Zubac also feels a little bit different. So I really don't know what we're doing. We're just kind of making educated guesses. I think for DFS at 8,600, 8,200 for Paul George, we can get to that and get 40 plus fantasy points. Kawhi Leonard's probably uncomfortable click at that price point. On the King side, Sabonis is intriguing to me as one of the guys that could be top 5 in fantasy scores. We saw that last night. And this is not a Jokic and Embiid night. So Sabonis is actually second in raw fantasy points for me right off the rip. And he's got that late night hammer spunk to him here. So Sabonis is probably my favorite play from this game. And then, yeah, I don't really have a plan of attack from a prop standpoint because the Clippers they're adding so much talent. Plumlee, Gordon, Westbrook. Maybe we're taking some unders, right? Maybe they haven't adjusted it accordingly. I mean, heck, Kawhi's already down to 41 fantasy points. That's pretty low. Plumlee's at 11.5 points, 9 rebounds. Good lord. Westbrook's at 5.5 rebounds, 6 assists. That's intriguing if they expect him to play pure point guard, but again, they're still pretty deep. What are we thinking on minutes for Westbrook? Because that's an awfully low assist line for a guy like Russell Westbrook who has shooters. And he has some historical chemistry, at least, with Paul George. The major pushback is how deep the Clippers are. But man, that assist line is so low for Westy. If you tell me Westbrook's playing, that's 6.5 in some spots. Wait, am I tripping or was it 6 here? It's 6. So Westbrook over 6 assists. He's just way too much of a facilitator, and that line's going to move. So let's do that. Russell Westbrook, while we can get it, over 6 assists. He just has too many options there if they're going to trust him to bring the ball up court. So we'll do that. I just don't know what to put for a fair minute projection. 24 to 34 seems like a reasonable window, right? So yeah. See what you guys got. If you guys got any lasting questions, comments, concerns, throw them at me. Any props that you're on that maybe we didn't touch on. If you would hit that thumbs up, we can get to 100 likes, man. I would appreciate it. If you're lurking, you haven't subscribed. Let's see, what's our sub count at? We were getting not too far from let's see, 83, 84. So we're 16 subs away from 8,400. Hey man, do we have 16 people out there that haven't subbed, enjoying the vibes? Hit that sub button. I appreciate it. Let's wrap up chat, man. See what you guys got. Ocean says Mikal Bridges over points or threes is a lock, though. You think so? I think 20 points is still reasonable. Like if moving forward, Mikal Bridges is a 22.5, 24.5 point per game guy, I'm not stunned, because I feel like somebody has to step up. And here's a guy that has played minutes and has already shown us in Phoenix that he can offer 20 plus points per game. So I'm fine with that. I do think it's possible that 20.5 is an opportunity that in 2 weeks we might look back at when he's averaging 24.5. Like, oh man, that was free. But yeah. What's up, AJ? Hope you're doing all right. Fading Westbrook props. His line started higher today, bumped down. Did they? I thought it was going up. 6.5 went down. Yeah, you're right. Oh, then I had that backwards. Then I don't understand. Like Westbrook is an assist freak, man. And you give him all this talent. Oh man, I don't know, man. If they're gonna trust him, bring that ball up the court. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. With me, the caveat is minute projection. But you can't tell me against one of the fastest paced teams in the league if you're gonna let Westbrook run and gun. Man, 6 assists. Come on. He just has so much to work with, man. So much to work with. Is it reversing? Did I just move it back up? Did you talk about expectations for Ty Jerome for value? Expectations? I don't know. Are you talking about for the Warriors? It would be what, a hunch on blowout minutes, which is not. It's not a bad thing. Like it could get you away from some of the Rockets chalk, right? He may not, but last night, I mean, he clocked in and didn't clock out. So 9 minutes of pure garbage time. Essentially final 13 minutes of the game. So I don't disagree with him as a play, Travis, but we are hinging on the fact, or on this game blowing out. But that's fair. But maybe with Draymond out and it being a back-to-back. A team that's too dumb to know that they're supposed to suck keeps it in there. So, but I don't mind that. I think that's a really fun way to get away from the Rockets chalk. Has Jerome got any ownership? He's at almost 10%. I don't mind it, but there's volatility in his minute projection. What did I put him for? Jerome. Hi, I'm Tyrone. I'm Ty Jerome. I put him at 19 minutes. So he's essentially he's bringing me a point per minute, and there could be a plus 10 on his minute projection, or his minute results rather. Maybe you have to be responsible with the projection, but it's still not too far off from like some of these Rockets median projections. Poole and Clay didn't play in the fourth quarter, yeah. And it's possible today as well, but yeah. Don't play Westbrook. I'm not. So the Westbrook enthrallment wasn't necessarily a DFS thing. It's more of 6 assists. It's just way too low. So it's a player prop thing. Like I'm not necessarily advocating to slam Russell Westbrook in DFS, but I think 6 assists is awfully low for Westbrook. It just really comes down to how many minutes you expect him to play. What up, Menelik? Thank you so much. All right, what are we doing tomorrow? You guys want to stream tomorrow? Let's see what the schedule's looking like. Might watch some baseball and hang out. Tomorrow we got 6 game main slate. Pacers, Magic, Heat, Hornets. We might get like half the Heat out because it's a back-to-back. Pelicans, Knicks, Nuggets, Grizzlies. Oof. Celtics, Sixers. Ooh. So we got essentially a turbo slate, a 2-hour slate. Spurs and Jazz. Good lord. What do we think that total opens up as? I guess it'd probably be like 240. We might stream tomorrow. Maybe. We might. It's Saturday. We can do it. Throw a lineup together. I can't do that. I can't do that. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Hey, man. I say this every day. Tell somebody you love them. Saw a bro of mine, and this is a little bit off the cuff, but you guys know I have 3 lives, right? DFS, wrestling, Fortnite. In my wrestling life, I'm starting to share that a little bit more with you guys lately. Last Sunday, I had a show, defended my tag titles. Matter of fact, I posted a clip. At the end of the show, I splashed a guy by the name of Sam Stackhouse. If you guys don't know, I'm a pro wrestler. That's me. Part of a tag team called Guns N' Roses. Gun Show, Marcus Rose. Anyway, this isn't about putting me over. But that show, I helped produce, edit, create the magic, right? And last week I was editing a promo for this guy. We got him, pre-show match, talked to him. So full of life. He just had a baby born 2 weeks ago. Yesterday we got the news that he passed away. So every day when I close these shows and I say, tell somebody you love them, because you just don't know. Man, you just don't know. So please today, for my boy Jason, tell somebody you love them, because you just don't know. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for spending some time with me today. Good luck tonight. I'll be in the Discord. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.